good to be here in Mexico City with you, Luis and Carlos. This has been an extraordinary mission, delegation to Mexico. And I want to know how this came about. So first of all, introduce yourselves, tell us what you do, and give us some sense for the importance of this relationship.
I'll start and let Luis speak clean up hitter. I'm Carlos Medina, President and CEO of the Statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. About 7.5 years ago, Luis very aggressively sat with the governor and myself and talked about the possibility of a trade mission to Latin America. Mm-hmm. I'll let Luis kind of give some of the details, but the bottom line is it was great to deal with a governor's office, very open-minded about these type of trade missions. I think this is the 14th that he did, and he hadn't come to Latin America. So the plan had been to perhaps go to 3 or 4 countries. However, COVID hit, and then that put everything on pause. So Luis will explain a little bit of the nitty-gritty, but the bottom line is amazing trip, great partner, and the first time somebody that's not a governmental entity is a partner, so it's kind of cool. Right? Yeah. Oh, so it's Choose New Jersey and the Statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce are the co-hosts or co-partners for this. So I'm very proud of that. That's super cool. And it's opened my eyes to the possibility of many more of these, with or without government, which is the beauty. We've developed so many good relationships with governors here in Mexico, and the way I've been treated has been unbelievable, like so kind. I really feel like I've healed on this trip from all the stress of Jersey life. But let Luis go ahead, tell us the story, man.
No, my name is Luis De La Hoz. I'm the chairman of the board of directors of the Statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And we were part of the transition team when Governor Murphy became governor the first term. And we developed a good relationship with him before he became a candidate, during the time that he was a candidate, and when he started the term as a governor. And, you know, one of the most important things is he was the ambassador of the United States in Germany, and he understands the importance of international relationships. And New Jersey has the vocation to be international because we are very diverse. Now, our point was, why always look to Europe, and why always look to Asia and other places and not to Latin America if we are 2.8 million Latinos from 17 different countries? And I remember that when Wesley Matthews, who is the current CEO of Choose New Jersey, was working at the NJEDA, we show up with an Excel spreadsheet with all the countries of Latin America, the amount of people for each country, and where those individuals live in New Jersey. And that's what ignited the conversation. And we were lucky because at that time, Jose Lozano was the Choose New Jersey executive director, and he moved on, and Wesley came to Choose, and the conversation continued.
Yeah, he took the baton from Jose.
And that's how everything started. And the idea was, we was trying to replicate what they already did in Europe, because they have offices in Germany, in Ireland, they have offices in India, they have a commission with Israel, they have an office in Taiwan, and why not Latin America? And after the pandemic, the consulate was up, the Mexican consulate in New Brunswick was open. And at that time, we were able to prove that out of all the countries from Latin America, Mexico is the biggest trade partner from New Jersey, and the second from the world. That's how the conversation started. I argue that is the first, because all the products that goes from Mexico through New Jersey and from New Jersey to the Northeast get account in Texas, not in New Jersey, because enter through trucks. But basically, that's the brief description of everything that happened. Also, I came 2 years in a row to attend the North Capital Forum, which is a U.S. Foundation, Mexico Foundation forum about the importance of Mexico, Canada, and the United States in order for us as a continent, North America, to compete globally and to compete against China. And that was the conversation.
Got it. And, you know, when I hear that number, 2.8 million Hispanics in New Jersey, that is like
And,
one third.
and 127 billion GDP a year
And
for Hispanics.
140,000 businesses.
Yeah,
I mean, that is just an astounding percentage of the economy, of the society, of the culture of our state.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm just glad we have figures, because years ago it was hard to get this, but an organization, the Latino Donor Collaborative, has spent a lot of money doing the research. You include New York in that, because if you're doing business in New Jersey, you're adding another 250 billion to that number. So I would argue if you put a pin in Jersey City and go 20 miles around, you might be looking at a $500 billion Hispanic GDP. And we've been talking all week about it, and the reception has been amazing. Like, I've never been somewhere where I've been so welcomed with open arms, so curious about our ecosystem, and then learning about the difficulties. We think it's hard to work in Jersey, but a gentleman was confiding in me the interest rates on some business loans here in Mexico are as high as 50%. I was like, what? So they are super excited to expand into areas like New Jersey, which would add value to New Jersey's GDP, our economy, our diversity, our culture. So I think it's just a natural partnership to have, and we plan on coming back. So I know you're with us next year, Jim, with or without a governor. We're coming.
No, we realized that a lot of these things, because the people from NJEDA and people from Choose already came before, but they were just trying to make sure that they can make the case for this to happen. And many things happened in New Jersey that didn't allow us to do this early. But also, one thing that we realized yesterday in one of the meetings is that if we came early, we will miss all the FIFA conversation, because this will be the first series that hosts 3 opening games for the World Cup, and we will host the final. And that's the World Cup is the biggest economic opportunity. We are expecting 3 million people in New Jersey. They are expecting 5 million people just in the city of Mexico, and that blew me away. I mean, this is a city of 22 million people, and you are able to receive 5 extra million people. It is crazy. But sometimes in Spanish we say, "Al que le van a dar le guardan." That means that if someone wanna give you something, they will hold it for you until it's the right time. And I think that that's what happened. I mean, we get a little bit of criticism because people say, why at the end of the term? Why too late? Why? But no, this has been a really good opportunity, and it's just the beginning, because from now on, a lot of things will happen without the governor, and he's just building the blocks. NJCU signed an MOU. St. Peter signed 2 MOUs with the universities from Michoacan. And this was an eye-opening, even for people that came come with us as a delegates.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's amazing how many meetings we've had, right? And even today was a lot about the FIFA, right? And I was really impressed with Governor Murphy's leadership. I mean, he is really committed.
You could see, it's kind of cool to see the governor on his feet. You know, he's very well received internationally, but he loves Jersey and he brings that enthusiasm to the table. But one real interesting nuance of this trip, Jim, first time another nonprofit, but we brought a bunch of members, which I'm not sure other chambers have done when they come, but then some folks came on their own itinerary and only were allowed to come to very select meetings, but that provided real life examples for these entrepreneurs. So I don't know in the past what the meetings, I've never been on a trade mission, but when me and Luis do our dog and pony show, I was like, yeah, sounds good. But then I have 3 major Mexican-American companies saying, we came to New Jersey. It's been great to work with the chamber. It's been great to work with Governor Murphy, and come to this ecosystem. We're going to welcome you. Then the people were like, oh, okay. You know, all these entrepreneurs that are like me are saying the same thing. There has to be some validity to this. So I love that. We always knew what we do in New Jersey is special, our chamber, but the reception we're getting is really overwhelming. Like, wow, like that's what we constantly hear. Like, wow, we love what you're doing, we love what you're saying, and Mexico gets taken for granted. I mean, fintech, the individuals we had at the fintech meeting, technology, artificial intelligence. I mean,
This is the numbers. I mean,
yeah,
it's very interesting because just the Mexico City outnumber New Jersey in many because
twice
they
the
have
size.
yes,
Yeah.
but it's because this is a large portion of the Mexico economy, right? In New Jersey, we don't have one city
Exactly.
that control more than 30 or 40%. Like is in Illinois, you have Chicago 60% of the entire economy, right? But in New Jersey, yeah, you would say Newark, Jersey City, right? Or we have overpopulated cities like Patterson, but none of them control
Right.
the big percentage of the economy. And the other thing is,
I think, as you said, there's a lot of tech here. It's become a tech hub.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are gravitating to it from outside of Mexico as well. And we were speaking to some entrepreneurs over the past couple of days that really have really thriving businesses and want to do more business with the U.S.
Yep.
yes,
So
one of them became a unicorn, and it's very interesting because Latinos only access like 2% of the venture capitals in the U.S. and is due to two factors. One is the lack of network. We don't have a bunch of friends that are like billionaires that are trying to invest. And they also mentioned that in Mexico, the wealthy people used to reinvest everything on real estate, and they realized that was not the best alternative. That's how they start investing on tech companies, but they realized that in order for them to grow their businesses, they need to go and try the Latino market in the U.S. to prove that the concept that they have is good enough for them to explode. And the other thing that is very important is that we didn't use tax dollars. I mean, Choose New Jersey.
For this trip, yeah.
Yes. Choose New Jersey is a non-for-profit, separate from the governor or from the government. And basically, they self-fund this with the support of corporations and individuals that pay for as delegates or as sponsors in order for us to be able to be here. And it's really important because always people think that we are using the same. I mean, as a taxpayer in New Jersey, I
If
don't
you look
want.
at social media, I'm sure our lovely pictures received some nice comments.
well, I mean, you mentioned, the chamber. You guys have been around for many years, and your leadership has been astounding through ups and downs, through pandemics and non-pandemics. I mean, all the members you have, you really have been such a key stakeholder in the community.
But it's very interesting that you mentioned that because we grew after the financial crisis. Mm-hmm. We grew during the pandemic and after the pandemic. And actually, Andy Gross from New Jersey Economic Development Authority, he made the case that we was one of the few states, and probably the number one state, that small businesses or Main Street businesses grew after the pandemic. And, I always mention that for us it's really important because for an immigrant entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is the best way to overcome poverty. We have 5 more chances to save money if we start a business versus if we find a job. And the other thing is that we are in industries that sometimes the members surprise us because we don't understand how they get on industries that are not common. Like they are not restaurants or beauty salons or barber shop or auto shops and we have one of the businesses that came with us. He owns 430 acres of trees. Like he planted 30-foot wide and 30-foot high trees, right? That's kind of unique, but he is not a landscaper, right? And it's not a small business. We have the only distributor from GAF nationwide who is Latino and is also part of the trip. And the other thing is that we are not here to replace the programs that help establish businesses or big businesses. We are here to connect our members, with business owners outside of New Jersey, with the sole purpose for them to grow together. I mean, we believe that many people don't qualify for those programs that are trying to promote exports. And also, they make the case that this is two ways. This is to attract investments to New Jersey, but also Mexico was pitching, hey, we have a lot of opportunities to invest. Come to Mexico. We are here. And we have presentation from Jalisco, from Michoacán. Puebla has the largest population of Mexicans in New Jersey. Oaxaca has the largest. The Poblanos are in Passaic, and the people from Oaxaca are in New Brunswick. And New Brunswick is Helix. This is in the downtown New Brunswick. Those are the type of things that we really want to see the results. We know that this is the beginning. We just planted a seed many years ago. We are just watering and providing care in order for those fruits to become reality in the next.
I want to mention also, Luis and Jim, I know we were talking on this topic somewhat, but it's great for us to deal with organizations that value diversity. But unfortunately, in today's environment, we've actually been asked by some major funders to tap down our mission, which we won't. And we don't need money that bad to compromise our integrity. But it's a frustrating world that people are literally, because of the federal government, afraid to celebrate all the hard work of diverse individuals and what they contribute to the economy. So it'll be an interesting couple of years, but we're ready for a fight if we have to.
And I think you highlight something that makes this trip even more important, right? Because at a time when the federal government, is not helping the relationships between these countries, it's time for governors and organizations like yours that could help sort of minimize the negativity.
Yeah.
That is.
And that has been part of the vibe. Like when they see Governor Murphy, they're so happy because they're getting beat up by the federal government. And they're like, hey, we just need trade partners like you. We don't have to always run it through, Uncle Sam.
But also, people value the way that government agencies, especially the NJDA, work in New Jersey, because I don't think that many economic development authorities have the capacity and the ability to invest, to use technology, to like what they did during the pandemic was remarkable because was not about giving a lot of money to a few people. That was giving a little bit of money to a lot of people. And if they didn't use technology and if they didn't approach the way that they did it, we will suffer. And I always say that New Jersey during the pandemic was a safe place for a small business, especially for a main street business, to be, because we give a little bit, but we often enough in order for them to survive, and we thrilled during that time.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that you mentioned the EDA during your comments. Mm-hmm. All the programs that they offer small businesses, but that they also need to do a little better job of making it more mobile friendly, mm-hmm. so that they can, make those applications. Because a lot of the population, I think, as you were saying, don't have desktops. Yeah. They're mostly on
60% of the 140,000 Latino small business owners. They use technology, but they only access internet on a cell phone. And yes, you can process an application, but in order for you to submit, you need to upload income taxes, bank statements, that you are okay with the Treasury Department. And that is a lot of
coverage,
yeah. And that consumes a lot of space that you cannot process that on a cell phone. But the other thing is that they listen. I mean, they don't do everything that we say, but they do pay attention, and they were able to provide results. And we also realize it's not everything that we ask for, but they design some programs on their own that we just learn about, and we just spread the word about those programs. And I always joke saying that helping them to spend money helped me to relieve stress, because we see the results. I mean, we see our members, and not only our members, small business in general, because Indy Sharma is driving a vehicle that he received through NJ SIP. He's not Hispanic, but the idea is that is we cannot expect that everything is designed to us strictly. We are just trying to get used wherever is available and communicate that efficiently to our community. And I live in Edison. I mean, it's only 5% of Latinos live in Edison. But if somebody from Edison benefit from a program that you just helped to spread the word, that's enough for us to.
Yeah, I would argue this trip is another kind of exclamation point for the governor's business-friendly agenda. So again, we're hoping Mikey is as business-friendly, because we're really setting the tables for some good things that could happen in her administration. So being that it's the same party, we hope everything goes smooth.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it's people to people, right?
Exactly,
It's about
exactly.
building relationships.
Yeah.
And, I think the new administration will be engaged as well.
Yeah.
But building on a lot of great work that this administration has done as far as all these missions and building those relationships with countries around the world.
Exactly.
And also the message is that we cannot expect them to solve all the issues. We need to take ownership of the solutions, right? If we communicate efficiently and we prove data that support what we are asking for, they will have better ammunition to make the programs that are needed. And it's very important because we cannot go to the governor's office or to the NJDA to tell, oh, Jose is suffering. No. But if we say, this many businesses from this industry are suffering for this problem, it's easy to, and, really good solutions take time. This is not a drive-through. This is not that we go and ask and we get it. No, sometimes take years. Is all the legal work that they need to do in order to be able to deliver the program that they. Sometimes the legal portion is longer than the actual process of giving the resources to the people that need it. But I'm optimistic of the future. We are ready to do the work that is needed. We are not asking for a handout or for spare change. We know what we contribute to the economy, and we are ready to do our part in order for the small Main Street businesses in New Jersey to benefit.
Yeah, one analogy, and I know you've probably heard this before, and sorry to be tacky, we try to teach our members how to fish. We don't want to give them fish. So it's a big nuance in this country, right? So I think we're almost like workforce development. Like, people don't put those two together, but I was sitting with the Commissioner of Labor at lunch today, and they're putting all this money in to try to protect jobs. But I would argue for a smaller amount of money, I could train some entrepreneurs, get their license, get them set up, and they're paying taxes and they're employing folks immediately. So hopefully we could continue that good conversation of, creative ways to attack these problems that the state has.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great way to conclude this conversation. Thank you, folks, and all the best for the future. More missions.
Exactly.
And a lot of tech companies that feel welcome, especially on artificial intelligence to New Jersey. A lot of capital hopefully coming to New Jersey to support those initiatives. And I hope that we will be able to enjoy and see the results soon.
One last thing, Luis, you said that there should be a mission or a consulate in South America or Central America.
An office. One choose office for Latin America and could be in Mexico. In Latin America, we have a challenge because it's not a Europe. They have one in Germany, but you can be in 2 hours in Spain or in Italy or in other places. In Latin America, what happens is from here to Brazil will take you more than from New Jersey to Europe, right? But the most important is to open that, because if that office open, we will make sure that that office serve the entire Latin America. We have 7 consulates that are based in New Jersey. The other 14, no, the other it is 6, it's like 17, it's 22, no, it's 20. And we have 7, it's 13 that are in New York. When the U.S. doesn't have relationship with Cuba or Venezuela, and in many cases Spain doesn't count as a Latino, just for. But the point is this: is we believe that if we open in one office, that office will serve the entire Latin America, and we can start for the countries that have enough population in New Jersey to benefit. Because, as I say, the idea is just to connect a small size business here with an established business in New Jersey, and together they can develop the relationship and be able to do well in the future.
Got it. Well, that's a good objective for the next administration, right? And that
Definitely.
will send a very strong signal to South America, Central America, that New Jersey means business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were very happy with Mikey's celebration. We were meeting with the mayor of Mexico City, who's female. And one of our colleagues was like, and they generally don't talk politics, but they were like, yes, and good move, good election in New Jersey. So it was kind of cool to see. And they're very much also, very protective of LGBTQ rights. I didn't realize that. So that was also a nice surprise to see that.
Yeah, very progressive. Very good. Well, thanks again, folks. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Wait, what am I going to say?
Hasta luego.
No,
Hasta la próxima.
juntos somos más fuertes. Yeah, together we are stronger. And
Exactly.
And this is just one example that this can happen. It already happened. This is 14 missions. This is the last one, but it's just the beginning.
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks again, folks.
Thank you.